nasty. See we sweet salon just the nasty. The sorry, do not see me nasty. Don't start sweet salon so nasty. So nasty. This president's government is over nasty. What's in the nasty? Check with parliament if you see nasty. Always they talk, but talk at nasty. We ministers now the body nasty. For shots, call them papa nasty. Judicial system is well nasty. Now so nasty. Anti-corruption, they freaking nasty. They make sabi but nasty. We police and soldier, they're all sorry. Cause the system nasty. We footballers, they're over sorry. Cause the SLFA nasty. The lighting system so nasty. Nasty, it's so nasty. The water system, it just stay nasty. Nasty, that's so nasty. Just a passenger bad up and nasty. Nasty, and the real nasty. See we sweet salon, just a nasty. The sorry, do not see me nasty. Entertainers, they don't take me serious. That make me more nasty. Medical facility, it's too rotten. See people they die nasty. Politics that the original nasty. We make salon down nasty. Free education, but me I not see nothing. Planning just a nasty.
Guys, Ibrahim, listen, I want to do this live real quick, okay? And this is because, welcome by the way, everybody. Welcome. Let me try to see my screen here properly. There has been a pattern by the Sierra Leone government, and that is what I want to share with you guys, okay? And courtesy of my brother, who is commonly called Hotmail, doing WhatsApp audios. You know, it picked up on this point, and I want to expand on this point a little bit. Because the current illegal government of Marabio, again, let me make it very clear. Marabio's government is illegal. You know, what's funny is I was checking the ECSL's website. It's like it's down. They took the website down after I did the live talking about the results that was not properly, announced. The disaggregated data is not available. So they took out the ECSL website. I just noticed that. The results are not there, whatever they posted the last time, which was just the total. Marabio had 1.5 million. But Wode Maya is in Sierra Leone, and I want to talk about that. You see, because Wode Maya is doing a phenomenal work. He's doing a great job. I'm not going to take that away from him, okay? However, there is a blind spot, and some of us, we have to point this out. And the reason why I'm going to do this, too, is because a lot of the diasporans, especially the African Americans, that were not born in Africa, knew nothing about Africa, they decided to say, you know what, we want to go see the motherland. They were sold this beautiful, fanciful life and everything that awaits them. But unfortunately, a lot of them are disappointed today and they're returning back to the US and they don't want to go back and they will never go back to Africa. Because the system as a whole is not built for the kinds of lives that we've lived in this part of the world. Things are working, there's organization, there's some sense of decency, regardless of what it is. So Wode Maya has done a phenomenal work with that, encouraging folks in the diaspora to go back home and invest and all of that. But what Wode Maya is not focusing on and is not talking about is the politics part, side of things, because politics governs everything. So for some of these African Americans, they go back home to Africa and they get shocked with the level of corruption, bribery. Simple tasks for you to get things done. It's very difficult for you to get it done because there is so much corruption within the system. The political leaders have not instituted, the policies or the society as a whole. The people are not prepared to do things the right way. Everything is corruption. It's just riddled with corruption. You look at the lack of infrastructural development, right? You talk about electricity. You talk about, lack of clean drinking water. You talk about the roads network. You talk about healthcare, all of these things. So people have been going back home and they're realizing that, oh man, there's nothing here for me. So they don't want to go back. And Wode Maya has played a very important part in that. And him being in Sierra Leone today, I'm sure it's the same thing. So what I want to do for Wode Maya is this. In as much as you're doing a phenomenal work, I want you to pay attention to the things that are going to bring disappointments to people. Because I'd rather undersell than I oversell. Because when you undersell, at least, people would appreciate you. But when you oversell and you tell them that everything is bright and beautiful, it's rosy. Oh, come to Sierra Leone, look at the beach, look at the ocean. Oh my goodness, this and that. Wode Maya, first of all, the first task that I have for you, which I've done a video separately that I'll post, is that I want you to go check the ECSL website in Sierra Leone. I want you to check the Ghanaians website, the version of the Electoral Commission of Ghana. When you guys recently had elections, the disaggregated data was posted on your website. Region by region, you can see how everybody voted in Ghana. In Sierra Leone, to this day, we don't have the disaggregated data. The results are not available. This current government is illegitimate. So when you sell this message to the rest of the world, these are the things investors need to know. Because you have to conduct what is called like a SWOT analysis, Wode Maya. What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? And what are the threats? You don't talk about the threats. You talk about the opportunities. You don't talk about the weakness. You talk a little bit about the strength, but what is the strength? What? We have beaches and beautiful oceans and this and that? Is that what it is? So you have to focus on the weaknesses and the threats, so people can understand where you're coming from. Be objective, because I know if you start talking about the weaknesses and the threats that are facing countries like Sierra Leone, definitely it would give a lot of people a second thought. You know, they'll pause a little bit and evaluate, do I really want to go there? Yes, Sierra Leone is a beautiful country. Look at the coastline, covered by the Atlantic Ocean. But do I really want to go invest in a country where the elections are held and the results are not declared? And the people are still crying for the results? So don't be fooled by the carnivals and all the stuff that you see, which I'm going to show you, because, you know, let me show my people, you know, what is happening here. I want them to see this, right? But this is Wode Maya, recently this morning or so. Check this out. You see what our sisters are doing? You see what our Sierra Leonean sisters are on? These are the same people that are crying about the difficulties, the hard times, how the country is and all of that. But you see what they're up to? See the foolishness?
Let me just get out and get some school. Go have a cut. Hey!
You see? So this is what is actually happening. This is Wode Maya is in Sierra Leone now. Unfortunately, look at the impression these Sierra Leonean ladies are giving us. So when people like myself, we're out here, we're calling out these issues that are actually affecting the development of our nation. We're in a country today where there is no electricity. Wode Maya, I want you to take a walk around Freetown, not just be guided by the TAF or the government people. I want you to walk around and go visit some of the KUSH joints, where the young people who have no hope, no future, they've resolved to using KUSH for the rest of their life. They are finished. They are done. Some of them are only breathing, but they are dead. I want you to visit those kinds of sites. I want you to talk about the electricity problems that we are facing, like in Sierra Leone. Because how investors can come to a country where there is no electricity? So that's going to increase the overhead of their businesses. And what's going to happen is it's going to translate to the prices of the goods or whatever they have that they're going to sell to the people. So things are going to be expensive and people will not be able to afford. These guys have spent, they've collectively over $1 billion on trying to resolve the electricity problem in Sierra Leone over the years. They would not talk about things like these. But yes, they want to encourage people to come and say, oh, tourism in Sierra Leone. Yes, to see what? The beautiful ocean and the beaches, whilst that people continue to suffer. Healthcare is still a challenge. Well, Wode Maya does not talk about these things. And so what he's doing is selling a false hope to my brothers and sisters in the diaspora who know nothing about Africa. Not people like myself who know what we're dealing with. Again, everywhere you go in Africa, there are those issues. But some African countries are making an effort. When you take countries like, Namibia, you take, Rwanda, Botswana, these countries are making the efforts to improve the lives of their people. That is why when you look at the migration issues that are currently going on across the world, you don't hear countries like Botswana or Rwandans, these are the people fighting to Japa to come overseas. That is what Nigerians call it, Japa. To come overseas, going through Temple Run. But our brothers and sisters in Sierra Leone, that is all they're thinking about. So Wode Maya, I'm giving you a simple task again. Ask for the elections results in Sierra Leone. Before you tell people to come and invest in a country like that, I want you to know how unstable that is. Stolen elections in Africa is a recipe for war. Stolen elections in Africa is a recipe for war. We're not making up these points that I'm saying to you. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you listen to the current illegal president, what he was saying back then. I'm going to let you listen to it, so you can understand that people like myself, we're not making things up here. When we say what we say, we know what we're talking about. So in Sierra Leone today, Wode Maya, the elections that were held on June 24th, 2023, almost 2 years ago, coming next month, 2 months from now in June, the results has not been published. So these are the underlying issues that are affecting Africa. So in as much as we want to promote the good name and the beautiful, climate of Africa, going back home to the motherland, we have to talk about these issues so people would be aware. So when they go, they know exactly what they're going to be expecting and not be shocked by what they'll see, the misery, the suffering, the pains of the people. Because only a selected few, like I saw you along the coastline of, the Lumley Beach and all of that, very early this morning, when my brother shared it with us, Otmail, on his WhatsApp audio, because everybody's paying attention to what you're going to be reporting, the video that you're going to be putting out. Everybody's going to be watching that. We're going to be watching to see what you're portraying. Because we don't want you to sell a false hope to people when the reality is not so. I want you to pay a visit to our hospitals. So I want you to do this so when people come, when the diasporans come, or African Americans that have never been to Sierra Leone, that are ready to go and buy passports from Sierra Leone, when they come, they should know what to expect with the hospitals. I want you to go visit Cottage. I want you to go visit Connaught Hospital, because these are the public hospitals. I don't want you to go to a private hospital. I want you to go to a public hospital and go unannounced. Don't go when it's all prepped up. Even if they prep for you nothing, you're still going to see the misery and suffering of our people. People still have to buy the paper that the nurses have to write or whatever that is. It's terrible. It's bad, Wode Maya. Ghana is way advanced when it comes to healthcare. Sierra Leoneans leave Sierra Leone to go to Ghana. So I want you to know, just in case if it's a blind spot, these are the things I want you to make sure that nobody comes back and say, I regret because I knew or I learned about this from Wode Maya. I don't want nobody to come back and say that. I don't want them to think you sold them a false hope. I don't want nobody to think like that. You have to start giving an objective point of view. Yes, we know if you talk about the politics, they're not going to like you as much anymore. And a lot of these governments will not welcome you. If the moment you start to talk about, hey, okay, yes, I want people to come to Africa, but again, I want to make sure that I prep them properly to know what to expect. Hey, if you're coming to Africa, like you're coming to Sierra Leone, be wary of the healthcare system. And it's not as good as you would want it to be. It's not as what you have currently in the United States of America, or what you have in the United Kingdom, or what you have in France and all of these places. So people are prepared and they know what they're walking into. But this is how PP governments, which is the focus of my life, what they've decided to do, because they know, and this is rightfully pointed out again by my brother, our brother who does this powerful WhatsApp messages. His name is Otmail on WhatsApp. It pointed this out very clearly, and it makes so much sense. These governments are focused, and I know I talked about this. I did a live where I talked about the fact that they are using social media instead of promoting civic education. They want to use social media to blindside our kids. Recently, what did they do, right? They brought this girl from Nigeria and paid him money. I think they said they paid her $52,000 just to come to Sierra Leone and visit the schools across Sierra Leone. You guys saw all of that, right? You saw this boy reporting about it. This is a spokesperson to the president's office talking about that girl. Look at her. This is the kind of influence they want to, have, for our girls in Sierra Leone. This girl actually paid visits to all the secondary schools across Freetown. This is what they want to promote because they don't want to They want to take away civic education from the people. So they have embarked on this mission to engage social media, to bring people like Wode Maya, because they cannot challenge people like myself anymore that are actually coming here and speaking up the facts and calling them out. For example, I'm telling you guys, I'm looking at the ECSL. This is the old page of the Electoral Commission, National Electoral Commission. I'm looking for ECSL's website. It is not available. The website is down. After I did the live where I talked about the fact that, where is, the disaggregated result. If you guys remember, I did that live and I talked about that. This live right here, you might want to go back to my, page after all this is done and take a look at it. But this was the live that I did where I talked about the ECSL and the website. So the website is currently down. It's currently down. I don't know what they're doing with it. Maybe it's just a maintenance, but the website is not there. Because when I was getting ready to do this live, I said, let me check the website of ECSL so I can show you guys. Because I want Wode Maya to see these things. And because I pointed that out, they've taken down the website since the last time I did my live. I want everybody to pay attention to these things. These guys know what they're doing. They know they're wrong. So what do they do now? They're using social media. They're bringing people like Wode Maya to come and sell this false narrative to the rest of the world, to show the world that they want to prove that Sierra Leone is quiet and everything is going good. Remember to Barry. Welcome. Welcome, Linod. Welcome, Alaji. But this is what they're doing. So we have to point these things out. So it's not just about selling, we want everybody to come to Africa. Let's come invest in Africa. What are you going to invest in? A country where the people does not have free speech? They are passing all kinds of terrible laws. When they said, we have done away with the libel law, but they brought about the Cybercrime Act, which they used to lock up people like our Hunt. And our Hunt's daughter had to fight to the point where the BBC and all these international organizations had to come in before the First Lady came out and said, I didn't know what was happening, and then a few days later she was released. So what am I? Do you know all about these things? Do you know about the case of Howard Hunt? Do you do a background study before you come to some of these countries to understand what is actually happening, the underbelly? So when you sell us out to the rest of the world, people are aware. Because this is one of the things we have to do. It's a fiduciary responsibility that we have to be honest to people. Yes, look at the SWOT analysis. Talk about the strength, talk about the weaknesses, talk about the opportunities, and talk about the threats. And these are the threats that are facing Sierra Leone. No free speech. No rights to protest. The elections are held and the results are stolen. So what do you want to tell the world? What do we want to tell the world? So we don't want to sell this false hope. It's like we're lying to people. And when that is not the case. What if I have to visit the slums?
There's been some tension in the country. In Bo, for example, there were clashes between...
Matter of fact, let me show Wode Maya what this illegal president said back in the day. When I told you that a country where the elections results are not available, it is tantamount to war. It is a recipe for war. Already, Wode Maya, you know that we already have the brutal rebel war for 10 years in Sierra Leone. It's ended back in 2002. So we've been trying to maintain the peace all through this time. And for people to vote. And the opposition, of course, in Sierra Leone, there is no opposition as well. What we have in Sierra Leone is a one-party state. Is that a country that, investors want to come invest into? Is that a country that you want to tell people to come and invest when that country is sitting on a time bomb? Let's listen to this from Marabio in 2018. Remember this. Before 2018, the elections, when he said if they made any attempt to rig the elections, there will be war. And this man has stole the election results of the June 24th, 2023 elections. There is no results, and we are sitting by. So that is the thing I want you to note, Wode Maya, before just showing all these women shaking their bum-bums. This useless piece of people that we have in a country where, everything is going downhill. They are sitting there celebrating and dancing and jubilating over nonsense. Watch this video of this current illegal president, Julius Marabio, what he said back in 2018.
There's been some tension in the country. In Bo, for example, there were clashes between activists from the governing party, but also from your party. How are you trying, in your capacity, to calm the situation down, to make sure this will not escalate?
We have continued to appeal to our people to be law-abiding and not to play into the hands of the All People's Congress that has decided to make sure that this election does not hold. I'm very sure from the highest office, the chairman and leader of the APC, to the last person, they are determined that this election should not hold. Today is our day to campaign in Freetown. They took vehicles and we are parading the streets, basically provoking a direct confrontation from our people. But we have appealed to our people, our supporters, who were supposed to be on the streets of Freetown, not to fall for that. Also, I have noticed a large deployment of armed police and military men right on the streets leading to my house. They have pepper sprayed a few people who were going to me and have threatened some of my advisors with gun. I do not take lightly to this, and I want to use this opportunity also to tell the government and the police chief to withdraw those who are there. We are not going to play into their hands. We have fought for this peace. They were not part of the process. They were the ones that brought the war that led us to 11-year civil war. We are not going down that road. We want to appeal to them to protect this country, the police and also the military, to defend the people of this country and not to harass them or intimidate them.
All right. Guys, you're seeing that. This was Marabio, who is currently illegally occupying office, telling us that he's willing and ready. Listen to this other video. I want you guys to see this. We're not making stuff up. I want you to listen to this other video. This is part of a continuity of the last video that I played. We're not making stuff up about these guys. So Wode Maya needs to know these things. So before he comes out with his video telling people to go to Sierra Leone and invest in this and that, you have to understand what is underneath the belly. What they should be aware of. That this country is a country that had an elections 2 years ago, and to this day, the result is not available. Listen to this. Listen to this.
What will be the consequences for the country if that will happen, if the elections will be really postponed?
Very dire consequences, as you know. We are all set. We've been preparing for this for the past 5 years, and everything is set. We have international observers here. Quite a lot of money has been spent for this particular occasion, and we see no reason why it should be postponed. The only reason that is there is because the president wants it postponed. But we have the Constitution, and there is no reason why it should not be held on the 27th. I will not hesitate to call the people of this country to come out and defend peace, security, and the democracy we have fought for. I didn't fight for democracy alone. This whole nation fought for it. And I think we should rise up to make sure that democracy is maintained.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, guys, so these are the things. You know, I've always told Sierra Leoneans over the years, for you guys that follow me, Section 13D of the Constitution is very critical. It says every citizen shall cultivate a sense of nationalism and patriotism so that your loyalty should lie to the state and not to your political party, your section, your ethnicity, or other political loyalties or your political leaders. No, it is about the country, putting the interest of the country first. This is Julius Marabio back in 2017 to 2018 elections. And he said there's going to be dire consequences. This was postponing the elections, not even talking about rigging an election. He said he was ready to bring his people out to defend the democracy. But yet you have an opposition today, with the exception of Dr. Samura Kamara, who has stood the test of time to defend democracy in Sierra Leone. Wode Maya does not know about these things, so it's our responsibility, people like myself, to point these things out. And fast forward to today, we have an election where the results has not been announced. Does Wode Maya know about this? I'm not going to give Wode Maya a lot of stuff, right? Because I don't want to go on and on and on. Because I don't want to tell him to go visit the KUSH epicenters, right? To go see our brothers suffering, you know, with KUSH. They're dying like animals. They've been addicted to KUSH. I don't want to waste Wode Maya's time, right? Maybe I can show Wode Maya this video. Let him just see what I'm talking about.
Today, I did live with most streets. As soon as see this na victim of the KUSH, we young generation, we brothers them way. Now as soon as see them now, they neighbor waka, some na creepy they creep. Young man, I they do. You can actually like talk to people them. See, I'm even able to say for talk. He say white. See, this na the kind country Sierra Leone. As soon as see, this na the other one. When I watch them on in so food there. See so food there. See so food there. Look this time, bone in the see so. See now the country, this now where we live. KUSH now they destroy we young one. This now we young generations them. They were all na leaders them so. You see this now the other one. Watch them. See this now the other one. So now then three today they pass now this street as soon as see them they no know waka. They all three na creep then they creep. Now see them young guy them future generations them. As soon as see them. It's not really easy for we. The young then they die, the future and they die. People then they suffer in this country. Now watch. People then they suffer, citizens and they suffer. Upper government. Now look we bother them. Now look at no more. Fine boy. Now push you. Look at. Today I did live football station.
Guys, this is what we're dealing with. These are the realities of what we're dealing with. So I don't want to bore Wode Maya with all of that, right? But when you tell people, oh, look at Sierra Leone, how beautiful it is. It's our country. Sierra Leone is a very beautiful country. Nobody's going to take that away from us. We are so blessed in terms of everything. I want to be able to sell my country, Sierra Leone. The other day, funnily, I was at a restaurant and a black African-American guy, was sharing his experience. It was sharing a story about with somebody else and telling him that he's getting ready to go to Sierra Leone. So after he, said everything that he was saying, I was sitting there very quietly. I went to pick up my food, so I was just waiting for my food to be ready. And whilst this guy was leaving, before it got ready to leave, I said, "Oh, so I heard you say you're on your way to Sierra Leone, huh?" He said, "Oh yeah." He said, "Where you from?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's where you from. Do you miss it?" I said, "No." He just looked at me cold faced. He said, "You don't miss it?" I said, "I don't." He said, "Wow." I said, "Well, I'm on my way there." He said, "Well," I grew up there, so what am I missing? There's nothing to miss. But I didn't say anything to him because I want him to go and experience it for himself. So I just said, "No, there's nothing to miss. I mean, that's where I grew up. I was there all my life. I moved over here. I'm grateful for life out here right now." And I know when he goes, he's going to reflect and say, "You know what? The guy that I met from Sierra Leone, it was very cold when I asked him if he missed Sierra Leone, and he said no." It's going to come back to him and say, "Oh, wow, that was why." Guys, I want to sell Sierra Leone for God's sake. What do you want to talk about? Mineral resources? Out of over 40 mineral resources in the world, we have over 32. You talk about gold, diamond, bauxite, rutile, iron ore, lithium, all this. I mean, come on. What are you talking about? Ilmenite, all of that. Talk about mineral. Talk about marine resources, the water. Talking about the fish. There are Sierra Leoneans today in Sierra Leone that have never had a lobster, but we have lots and tons of lobsters. Who enjoys all of that? The Chinese. These useless governments, they just sell all of this to the Chinese people, and they make billions of dollars every year, and they get chicken change. They keep it in their pockets. It doesn't reach the people. Tell me about Sierra Leone. I want to sell Sierra Leone, my beautiful country. There is no other country that is a lot more beautiful than Sierra Leone. Talk about the coastline. Lovely Beach alone is about 7-mile stretch. Natural Atlantic Ocean. We did not have to create anything like Dubai and all these other countries that had to bring, the ocean into their countries. Sierra Leone is a very beautiful country, but what we've lacked over the years is a bunch of useless politicians that have never had the interest of the people, and that is why you have people like myself. Civic education is key. Does Wode Maya know all about this? It is our responsibility. I may not have had the time to do what Wode Maya is doing. I'm doing something different. He's doing what he's doing, and we applaud him for that. We appreciate him for that. He's doing a phenomenal work. Some of us have seen these countries that we would never be to, we would never go to. But because of Wode Maya, we've seen it. But at the end of the day, look at what is actually happening now in the diaspora. Especially like in Ghana, even in Sierra Leone. People are becoming disappointed every day because what they were sold is not what is actually happening. Because the society is not prepared for them. And people are still backward. Why are they so backward? Why are they so corrupt? Everything is not, it's just total nasty. Nothing is good. We cannot write home nothing about. And the worst thing is when we have elections, the results are stolen. And again, look at me. I'm trying to visit the ECSL website, guys. ECSL website is down. I can show you guys what ECSL's website is down. And this was after I did the live. Look at it. Let's do a Google search together. I'm going to do a Google search. Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone's website. I'm doing a Google live. A Google search. I can't find it. Look at it right here. I cannot find it. When I click on this, it says that. Why? Because I did a live a couple of days ago, and I talked about the fact that the elections are not on the website. This is the old website. Even this website does not have the election results. This is the old one. See? This is the old website. Nothing. You see? Nothing. I'm searching for ECSL's website so I can show it to Wode Maya, so Wode Maya could see exactly what I'm talking about. And it's not there. I've tried all these options. Look at this one. The website is down. There has been a critical error on this website. I don't know why. The website is down. But then if you go to Ghana, this is Ghana's Electoral Commission's website. I'm giving you guys in real time. You see? So Wode Maya, this is Ghana's website. It's unfortunate that I cannot show you Sierra Leone's, but I can take you to the live that I did, and I talked about the Sierra Leone's website. This is it right here. Let me show you what I'm talking about, Wode Maya. So today, what I can do for now? This is the total number of votes. This is Sierra Leone's website where it will come up. They are not negotiation. Upon where I get 800. Total number of polling stations 62. Number of registered voters in local county, guys. Again, Liberia had August, September, and October. I'm just trying to find exactly where Sierra Leone. 36 polling stations in Nimba County. Results. Aha! You come to election results. This is the ECSL's website, Sierra Leone's Electoral Commission's website. Up till this day, 2 years later, they've not published the disaggregated data. What they gave us was a grand total. They could not break down the disaggregated data like Liberia did. Liberia, Sierra Leone did. Let me show now. Presidential election result. Let me put out the big screen and I want to see. You see? 2023 election results. Can you imagine? And think about this. The elections was in June and they could not even upload, even this result was not uploaded until August. So July and August, 2 months later. But this is ECSL's website. All right? So this is the ECSL website. When you come to the top here, you see where it says, let me make it big for you. When you go to ECSL, ec.gov.sl, you see you click on elections. Under elections, that is where everything opens up for you, right? And then you see all the stuff. So this is it right here, 2023 presidential election results. If you click on this, let's click on it, let's see. Let us see what did come up. This is what comes up on ECSL's webpage. Statement from the Chief Electoral Commissioner. Nowhere in Liberia's, electoral, page, website, did you see the commissioner had to make a statement talking about this and that and all that nonsense, right? But this is what you see in ECSL's page. Statement from the Chief Electoral Commissioner. Let's put it on the screen now. In exercise of the powers conferred on it by sections 33, 42(2)(e) and 38A as amended of the Constitution of Sierra Leone 1991, all that bogus talk, right, Salon people? Now, look what it give we. This is the result. This is what we should go with. Below is the total number of votes obtained by each presidential candidate. And just give we by Mohamed, Cherno, National Democratic Alliance Party, 21,000 votes. Bio, 1,566,000 votes. APC, Samura Kamara, 148,000 votes. This is all they're giving us. This is all they're giving us. Sierra Leoneans, them. Well, now we wise up, man. Let us stop this foolishness now, country, man. This is not just Liberia. They force Liberia and Sierra Leone. Not even go to Ghana yet. Liberia, polling station for polling station. Disaggregated data by disaggregated data. Every polling station. I'll take you back to Liberia. Right? Guys, this is what I'm talking about. So I've done that live. You guys can go back and watch that and see. So I want Wode Maya to see this. But if I share this page with Wode Maya right here, this is Ghana's website. And I want to show Wode Maya a thing or two. You see the 2024 elections that they had? Presidential results? Look at it right here. It breaks down disaggregated data. Compare that to what we have. Compare that. Look at Ghana, region by region. If I break it down, right here, if I go into each of these regions, OT region, you see? You see the disaggregated data? This is the definition of disaggregated data, Wode Maya. OT region, it shows every political party, how many votes they had within that region. So when we come here and we're talking to you guys, I want you to share this with Wode Maya. So Wode Maya knows that we as Sierra Leoneans, we are watching at him very closely to see what kind of message is going to sell out there. Because I'm not even going to talk about the TAF, the guy, the Gambian from Gambia who's building houses in Sierra Leone because the government failed. Because the government cannot show, the government cannot actually, build houses for its own people. The government cannot build houses for its own people. Sister Yayo, everybody, welcome, welcome. Daura Kaba, welcome, brother, welcome. But these are the things we're saying. Everything we've been talking about. We're not making things up here, guys. This is Sierra Leone for us. So now ECSL's website is down. They don't take the website down. After I did that live and showed and compared how Ghana, they break down the election results, they took down the ECSL website. They know what they're doing is wrong. It's a recipe for war. Therefore, Wode Maya, don't tell people to come and invest in Sierra Leone at a time when nobody knows the results of the June 24th, 2023 elections. Please don't sell that false hope to anybody in the diaspora. It is wrong. And they would not be happy with you. Just like a lot of the African Americans are not happy. They don't hold anything against you, Wode Maya, but they're not happy right now because you sold them this false hope. And they came to these countries. They came to Ghana, especially Ghana. They're so disappointed in Ghana right now. A lot of them are just going back home because the politics was not talked about. And this is sad for our country. So I want to point this out, and I want you guys to know, because Marabio should understand that he's not the only person that has the capability of threatening war in Sierra Leone. Because he has been doing that. And it's wrong. I saw a video, which I've already shared with you guys as well. And I want to share this with you. I want you guys to see this. Let me share this with you.
Boy, I don't know what kind of accident this boy had, but he had to stitch his mouth because I guess his mouth was.
I want you guys to check this video out.
But I want you to see this, but I'm prepping you before I let you watch the video so you don't get panicked and think it's a terrible, awful video. But of course, for you guys that follow me over these years, you know I've been speaking up about these kinds of things. Remember, this is 2025.
And what you guys are going to be watching in this video, what I want you guys to see, this man is actually going to be stitching up this boy's mouth. That is what I want you to see. Look at the environment. I want you guys to understand what we've been talking about all these years. I want you to see this. Check this out. This guy is actually sewing, stitching this boy's mouth because they don't have access to a hospital. Because they don't have access to a hospital. Medical facilities are not available in the country. Our people in the provinces, I mean, even in the capital city, don't have access to proper care. Look at the environment. Look at the filth. The man who's saving this boy's life, because it looks like he has experience doing this, because this is not just something somebody's just going to come and do, overnight. But this is the failure of successive governments. This is the failure we keep talking about. Government after government, they failed our people. This is what we keep talking about. But you guys are putting your political parties and political leaders over the interest of the country. This is terrible. Does Wode Maya know about things like these? I don't think he does. How can we have a country where, with all the mineral resources that we have, all the wealth that we have, we cannot take care of our people? We cannot provide the basics for our people. Healthcare, proper education, good roads. We cannot create employment for our people. We cannot take care of our own resources that we have to give the life that our people deserve. When I come on social media, I'm not here for nonsense. I'm not here to play with people. I'm not here to joke. I've always stood for Sierra Leoneans. When I saw the video of Wode Maya with those ladies shaking their butts, these useless people having a whatever this is, I don't know what they are celebrating. These useless people shaking. It is sad. In a country where the results are not available, a country where the healthcare system, women are dying, postpartum stress is there, no electricity, no clean drinking water. Should anybody be dancing or celebrating? Or somebody wants to tell me that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy? Instead of these people, the time that they have to go on this carnival, if these people can use this energy to ask for the results of the June 24, 2023 elections, Sierra Leone would be a beautiful country. All people like us want is fairness. If the people vote, let the votes count. If the people protest, don't shoot and kill them. If the people speak up, don't use the cybercrime laws against them. If the people are sick, let them have access to the hospital. Guys, bear with me. Let me check somebody's at my door, okay? Oh, okay. Sorry about that, guys. But that's all I wanted. I'm not going to make this live long. I just wanted to talk to Wode Maya and let him know that we are paying attention to what is actually happening. We are looking at his Facebook page. We're going to watch to see the videos that he's going to post because we care and we want to make sure the right thing is said. Because I saw him taking a walk along Lonely Beach. As you can see here, I took a walk along Lonely Beach this morning. And, we want to make sure that this is not what he sees. Because when you see this kind of stuff, it's very deceiving. Oh, I woke up 6 o'clock in the morning and took a walk along the beach. All of these people, if all of these people have stood up to protect our democracy, if all of these people have asked the questions, I'm telling you, Sierra Leone would have the elections results today. Sometimes I want to give up because when you see this kind of nonsense, these people are celebrating and living a very happy life. It is like I ask myself the question, what am I doing? I ask myself the question, what am I doing? That is what gives us hope. That is what gives us hope.
Tokyo, of course.
It's a bit Tokyo.
I get the knock have good one. The night is clear,
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's just an early morning walk. We've been walking since 7 o'clock, yeah?
Yeah. And the promenade by the water, lovely, huh?
I just love the view, man. Like, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, lovely.
It's just so beautiful.
You see? So that is the thing. That is what Wode Maya sells, right? And I'm going to talk about this guy, this tough guy. This is the guy who's building those houses in Sierra Leone from Gambia. But this is the picture Wode Maya wants to show. You know, I saw this guy put something here. Does Wode Maya know about the drug lord? Oh, this is a good comment right here. In Jawa J. This is a very good comment. That's another life for another day. Does Wode Maya know that Sierra Leone is the hub for the shipment of cocaine? Does Wode Maya know that we have Boleos, the most wanted man in the Netherlands? Does Wode Maya know about all of those things? I don't think he knows about that. So again, Sierra Leone is just a dangerous country at this point because the president's daughter is dating the biggest drug lord. Does Wode Maya know about that? I don't think he knows about that. So for you to come out here and tell people to go and invest in Sierra Leone when we have the biggest drug lord in that country, and Sierra Leone is now known across the world as the biggest shipment area for for cocaine and other illicit substances, and even arms and ammunition. Does Wode Maya know about that? Now look at what he's seeing. Woke up very early in the morning. They cleaned the whole place up, and he's looking at the views. Oh, Sierra Leone, look at how beautiful this is. This is what he sees. That's the superficial stuff. It is the underbelly, what is underneath.
Welcome to the stream. I am with Uncle Chap, the best real estate developer in the whole of Africa. The man on a journey to build 1 million homes in sub-Saharan Africa.
That's right, 1 million.
And that journey brought him to Sierra Leone.
That's right, and you put me in trouble.
What trouble is that?
Interviewed me.
And
that video went viral.
Yeah.
People started contacting me.
All right, guys.
And then you came to...
But I wanted to share that with you because I don't want to talk about that tough guy today. You know, the guy from Gambia who's building those houses. I don't want to talk about him today. But I'm sure he brought Wode Maya to Sierra Leone. He's very instrumental in bringing Wode Maya. But I don't blame him. I blame the stupid, foolish government officials, the illegal government officials that don't have no ideas on how to build infrastructure for its people. Countries like Singapore did not outsource the building of houses for its people. Singapore actually has the housing corporation, and they made it a goal to ensure that every Singaporean has a home to live in, and they would own that home as well. Even if it's for 99 years, they will own that home. But in Sierra Leone, leaders have no idea of what to do to build houses for its people. They keep stealing and thieving the money away from the people. But anyways, I'm going to leave it right here, guys. Wode Maya. The diasporans are getting tired. They were sold a false narrative, and now they went back home to Africa, and they're disappointed, and they're all coming back. Sierra Leone, go and ask for the results of the June 24, 2023 elections. Till this day, the results are not available. And even the website of the ECSL is down now, after I pointed it out. There is nothing on that. Shame on us as Sierra Leoneans, for us that are sitting and not fighting. All of you guys that are on this live that are positive, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you guys do. Let's keep doing what we do. I'm going to share some of these comments on my screen here that you guys posted. Let me see if I can give this another color so that people would... let's see here. Yes, but thank you guys. Thank you so much. Let me share some of these comments. Let me just go over these comments with you all real quick. All right. Let me see what would work. Oops, that's too much. Nope. Get away from here. All right. Yeah, Sister Meb. Welcome. Let me fix this color thing here on my... Let's see, background. I'm trying to have a better color. Okay, that's better. Cool. Thank you guys. Thank you. Sister Yayo, let's see. Good evening, Brother Ibrahim. Yeah, Sister Yayo, thank you. Sierra Leone is a big mess, says Sister Yayo for sure. You know, Sister Mem here. Let's see. Marabio is a true narcissist. He projects his wicked ways on others. Irresponsible, immature coward. It's what you've made. You've mad WBO. Okay. Thank you to HT. Well done, IB. Education is power. Indeed, it's helpful. Thank you, my brother. Sister Mem. Thanks. Alaji. Kelly Toure. Thank you. Yeah, guys. Brother Lamin, LOIB, thanks for your continued service to our nation. Your advocacy is yielding dividend. Thank you, brother. And Ahmed Cool, the corrupted politicians in Sierra Leone, are trying so hard to set an awful precedent that would completely destroy Sierra Leone's democracy. That's why we're here, my brother. We'll not let them. All right. Sister Memuna, again, keep doing your part, brother IB. Thank you. I'll keep doing what I do. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to leave it right here, okay? I got to run now. It's 4 o'clock. I had somewhere to be. But thank you, everybody, and have a beautiful one. Bye-bye.